My name is Michelle Ogle-Frank, and I am a former elementary school teacher who went into administration, as all of you are doing. And I've been working here at the WNYRIC for 15 years. I'm an associate director for instructional technology, research, and innovation here at the WNYRIC, which means I work with 104 school districts in all of the Western New York area and help them with technology integration, tech planning, smart schools investment plans, among a lot of other things as well. The current state of technology planning in New York State works with SED directly, but the overall vision for technology planning for public schools is that districts are working to increase student achievement through integration of technology. The whole idea of planning is to vision out that technology plan so that districts have a guideline to follow so that they're able to easily move forward in the purchasing of equipment and the rollout of computer-based testing and the software purchase, and everything needs to be incorporated so that students are able to get essentially the best bang for the buck. There's two different technology plans that are required in the district for each district in the state of New York. And the first is your comprehensive technology plan, which is the overarching plan, as the title, comprehensive. That plan is for districts to talk about the vision, talk about the mission in their school district, talk about the professional development for teachers based on what they plan to purchase, to talk about how they're going to move forward in the next 3 years with technology in their district, how they're going to roll out computer-based testing, and that is a plan that typically a district uses a technology committee to write. That committee would include stakeholders like parents, teachers, librarians, administration, and students. And that plan is written for 3 years. From that comprehensive technology plan, the districts are required by the Department of Education to provide a technology survey to SED. That happens annually. So the districts will write a 3-year survey, which is a snapshot from their comprehensive plan, that they enter into a portal. It's the SED business portal. And they submit that to the RICs for certification each year. And then the RICs, once they certify the plan, have the districts submit that plan to SED through the portal for approval. The surveys are developed through SED. I've actually worked with SED for 2 years to develop the surveys, myself and a couple other individuals from 2 different RICs. And we worked with SED to develop all the questions for the survey. SED also chose some individual questions from their Office of Special Education as well as their computer-based testing folks to gather data essentially from the districts so that they have information at a state level that they can compare if districts are ready for computer-based testing, what types of applications districts are using, what types of inventory districts have, how their broadband looks. So SED can see all of that data and information based on these surveys. So the surveys are in the business portal, and you have to be entitled to use those. And that means your superintendent is the only individual that can give you an entitlement to get into the portal. The tech plans are reviewed by the regional information centers in New York State. There are 12 regional information centers in New York State, and they actually have individuals that can certify the plans. And we also have individuals at the BOCES in a model schools program that help districts to facilitate the planning of their comprehensive technology plan, from which they pull the snapshot for the technology survey. So they write the plan, it goes to their Board of Education for approval, then that's the comprehensive plan, then they pull the information, so they cut and paste the information from their comprehensive plan into the portal itself, and once they are finished doing that, they submit it to the Regional Information Center. The Regional Information Center has individuals like myself who read through all of the questions and go back and forth with the district If they have to make some changes so that the district would be set for approval, the RIC reviewers then certify the plan and let the Department of Education know that the plan is certified. The district then submits the certified plan to SED, who pulls the plan, reads a number of different questions, and then agrees to approve the plan or not. The consequences for not having a plan or not having an approved plan, those range, but essentially districts would be ineligible for a number of different monies, so including the Smart Schools Bond Act funds. Smart Schools came into effect when voters actually voted on the Smart Schools bond, and that allowed districts to have a certain allocation per district that they're able to spend with no expiration date on different kinds of technologies. So districts are able to look at a number of different buckets. They include high-tech security features, they include classroom technologies, they include connectivity, they also include community connectivity. So there's a number of different buckets of money that districts are able to apply for with a Smart Schools investment plan. Some districts have a significant amount of money, several $1 million, and other districts have $100,000, $400,000. So it really depends on each district, and you can find that information on the SED website, the allocations for every single district in New York State, every public school district. And what districts are doing is they are able to write a Smart Schools investment plan, and that plan has to include a number of different components. It's also within the SED business portal. So you're going in for your technology survey in the SED business portal to fill out all the information. You are also going in to fill out the information for your Smart Schools investment plan. There are a number of steps within a process that districts must go through in order to have a Smart Schools investment plan approved by the review board. And they include, first of all, having a stakeholders meeting, and that includes parents, teachers, students, administration, to develop the Smart Schools investment plan. That plan must then be that plan must then go to their Board of Education to be approved as a draft. It must be posted on their district website for 30 days and allow comment, both written and in phone calls. They then would answer those comments or any concerns at the next Board of Education meeting. The plan would then be changed if there were any different items that needed to be incorporated, and that plan would be a final Smart Schools investment plan. Once that happens, the individual at the district needs to go into the SED portal, fill out all the appropriate information in the portal based on what they decided to purchase, whether it's high-tech security features or classroom technologies. They also attach their Smart Schools investment plan and the presentation they did to the Board of Education at their school district. That information goes to SED, and there are a number of different offices at SED that may have to be involved, including the Office of Facilities Planning, the Ed Tech Office, the Office of Management, Educational Management. They all might be involved at some different aspect. They would review the Smart Schools investment plan and the information entered into the portal. They go back and forth with the district until they feel it's appropriate to send the actual plan forward to the review board. The review board meets 4 times a year, and they review all of the plans that SED has forwarded to them, and then they either approve them, which means the districts can start purchasing based off of those plans, or they push them back and they have to readjust the plans and wait for the next review board. One of the allowable expenditures for the Smart Schools investment plan is community connectivity, and we have a number of districts who are looking at working with their local libraries or municipal buildings to allow for either the fiber to be run or that connectivity to be present, where they would work through the school districts and through the regional information centers to have better connectivity, and also the possibility of wireless in different locations for students to have that 24/7 access.
It's time for a break to recap and prepare for the next section of this presentation. Let's review first. Michelle has introduced 2 technology planning processes to us that are required by the New York State Education Department when a school district elects to gain access to its share of the billions of dollars in state aid. The first overarching plan is called the Comprehensive District Technology Plan, and the second is called the Smart Schools Investment Plan. The remainder of this presentation will focus on computer-based testing. Stay with me now because this section will explain the class assignment.
Districts have been working with computer-based testing as a field testing option for a couple of years now. We actually close this Friday with the computer-based field testing that's happening for 3 through 8 right now, ELA and math. We have a number of districts, over 20 districts in Western New York, that are part of the field testing. And that means that they have chosen to have students in grades 3 through 8 take the tests on computers. Those field tests are now with Questar, and next year districts will have the opportunity to choose grade levels that would be taking their actual 3 through 8 tests on computers, or they can choose paper pencil. And the idea is that by 2020, all 3 through 8 grades are testing on computers. So computer-based testing would be in full effect in 2020. With computer-based testing, the WNYRIC has offered a number of services to districts to allow them to get ready for computer-based testing. That includes helping them to load all the data for all of their students into the system. It also includes technical assistance, where we've actually gone out to districts and helped them set up laptops, computers, desktops, making sure that the browser is working correctly, making sure that they've downloaded everything they have to download, so that when the students actually sit in front of the computer, it's a seamless transition for those students and they're not waiting 10 or 15 minutes for the test to actually show up in front of them. We're also here for phone support, and districts have utilized that very frequently during the field testing. We also have professional development for the teacher proctors who are proctoring those computer-based tests. Districts have a lot to do to get ready for computer-based testing and to have that actually roll out in grades 3 through 8. So number one, districts are looking at what types of devices they want to use. During the field testing, they've been able to kind of make choices. Do they want to try it on an iPad? Some of them are doing it on a laptop, and you can have multiple devices used during the computer-based testing scenario. So that's one thing, probably the main thing that districts are concerned about at this point, is to make sure they have the right devices for students to test on. Making sure that they have the appropriate bandwidth available for those students and those assessments, and then making sure that the students are ready with computer-based testing skills, and that the teachers are ready with understanding how they're proctoring the assessments. If a student gets kicked out of the assessment, what do they do? How do they get back in quickly? What happens if the internet goes down while they're testing? There's lots of variables that can happen during computer-based testing, so having everyone set up for success is extremely important.
Preparing for the spring 2020 arrival of the new CBT requirement in New York State is the responsibility of every building principal to assure the security, integrity, reliability and validity of the testing environment. Your assignment is to assume the role of a 3-8 building principal. Furthermore, your hypothetical superintendent has delegated to you the task of orienting him to the issues that will accompany the piloting of CBTs the spring of 2019, followed by the eventual official testing of all grades 3-8 students in 2020. Your assignment is to review the training documentation available on the NYSED website and then summarize in memo form the work plan to the superintendent the issues that need to be addressed between now and the spring of 2019. You are permitted to discuss and develop a draft of the memo work plan in small groups, but each of you must submit your own final product to the instructor. The memo work plan you will compose and submit to the hypothetical superintendent and your instructor shall include the following: Statement of purpose and rationale. What are you writing to the superintendent about, and what is your rationale for writing to him? A list and description of the issues that need to be addressed, including, but not limited to the following: staffing, tech readiness, available classroom space, staff and student training accommodations for handicapped 504 students, and timeline. Budget narrative. You will also include recommendations to the superintendent concerning the other staff members in your hypothetical school district that you feel should be involved in this project. To prepare for the assignment, you are to read School Administrator's Manual for Computer-Based Testing, available for you in Canvas. Teacher's Directions for Computer-Based Field Testing, available for you in Canvas. You will also view these training videos. NYS English Language Arts and Math CBT Field Test Proctor Training, available as a link on Canvas. K-Star CBT Tech Readiness, available as a link on Canvas. NYS English Language Arts and Math Grades 3 through 8 CBT Field Test Administrators Training, available as a link on Canvas. The final draft of this assignment is not due to your instructor until August 3, 2016. However, throughout the course of the term, you are encouraged to consult with your instructor pertaining to the assignment. We could easily meet online, over the telephone, or in a Canvas conference. Don't be shy about asking for help. Finally, keep in mind this assignment is intended to be an overview of the CBT process. We are not looking for a detailed report that addresses the myriad of issues associated with CBT. Instead, we want to promote your ability to digest information from a variety of sources, analyze that information for relevance, synthesize the resources into one memo or work plan, and communicate clearly to a hypothetical supervisor. It is our hope that at the conclusion of the exercise you will have a far better understanding of the complexities of the principal's job and an appreciation for the detail-oriented tasks that are inherent in the position. Be sure to check out the Canvas assignment for this module. Your instructor has issued a detailed memo to you that includes all of the elements of the memo work plan that are enunciated in this video.